Hard Don't Pump No Kool-Aid, Sadiq. And this is the second hour of Don't Believe the Hype on this Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. Oh, gosh.
Yes.
Well, again, this is Don't Believe the Hype, and we also ask you to go beneath the surface, the headlines and everything of what you've been seeing and hearing to make sure it is true for yourself so that you do not get fooled. Okay, so let's go on to why we're really here.
Okay, wait. Before we get into that,
Go ahead, brother.
Al, I know you're probably going to be watching this. Let me know if this is a better live feed. It seems like it's a lot smoother.
Oh, yes, it's doing good.
Yeah, it's doing good right there.
It's doing good.
Sorry, in the last hour, we were using a Chromebook. Now we're using this, and what you guys are seeing...
book.
Yeah, what you guys are seeing is the green screen behind us. This is how we do the studio stuff. And if you go to the YouTube channel, you'll see the bells and whistles put up as we do the actual show going on. So, go ahead.
All right, and so, as you guys have probably heard and all that other stuff, there's a documentary called Leaving Neverland that premiered on HBO on Sunday and Monday. So it was two parts.
Did you watch it?
No, and I was just about to say that. Admittedly, I didn't watch it, okay? For a few reasons, I didn't watch it. I'll get into that in just a little bit. And so then after the documentary aired on HBO, and then someone told me that it is going to air 103 times total.
All right.
On HBO.
Got to make sure
yes,
the narrative is put into these people's heads.
It's got 103 times this documentary is supposed to air, okay? And so Oprah followed up the documentary with her special where she talked to the director, Dan Reed, and the two guys in question who alleged that Michael Jackson abused them. So the Leaving Neverland is about the accusations that Michael Jackson molested these guys who were boys at the time. I think they were 7 and 10, somewhere around those ages at the time. Again, I didn't watch it. I will not watch it. As you guys can see, I have my Michael Jackson shirt on because I am standing, R.I.P., in solidarity with Michael Jackson, because I am one of those people who never believed that Michael Jackson did those things. Now, was Michael Jackson a little eccentric, a little, some people would say off, a lot different? Yes. I don't believe that he did those things. And, you know, not to get into a whole lot of conspiracy things, because all those things are out there. You can go find Dick Gregory talked about it a lot, Farrakhan, a whole host of people talked about it. And so here you have this documentary, and so Oprah follows up with her special where she has an audience full of sex abuse survivors, I guess if that's what you want to call them, in this audience. And has this panel of James Safechuck, that's one of the guys, Wade Robeson, and then Dan Reed, the director. They're, chopping up. And she also had some psychologists or somebody on there to kind of help usher the conversation. And she pretty much says, this is bigger, because she says, you guys are going to get it. You and the audience are going to get it, and I'm going to get it. People are basically going to be mad, and they're going to come for us, but so what? Was her whole attitude.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And she says, and this is stuff that I'm reading because I didn't watch any of it, but she says that this conversation is bigger than Michael Jackson. It's a conversation that needs to be had because it's not just Michael Jackson per se. It happens a lot. And she also talked about how she came out on her show, I guess it was 30 years ago, however long it was, that she is also the survivor of sexual abuse. And so that's kind of why it hit home for her. But I just take issue with the whole thing as far as Oprah. And I think Oprah is a backstabber. That's just my opinion. Because as you guys have also seen in...
Haven't I been saying that for years?
You have. But it's not something I didn't already know. But now it's just kind of like, okay, Oprah. Also, you have a lot of people saying, well, this gives a lot of credence to what Monique said.
Absolutely.
About Oprah being a snake. And so Oprah has had Michael Jackson on her show plenty of times. I mean, you see a lot of pictures with them hugged up. And, she's, a big-time fan of Michael Jackson. Even after his death, she interviews children and his parents. And, all of a sudden, she's done an about-face because this documentary has come out and it's supposed to be very telling and all this other stuff. Now, it should also be said that the gentleman in question sued Michael Jackson and lost. And not only that, they got on the stand in, 2005 and said that he didn't do anything to them.
Right.
They vehemently denied that Michael Jackson did anything to him. And now Michael Jackson's estate is worth about $2 billion.
Yes.
Okay? but they're saying this is not driven by money. They just want people to know. They want to get the story out. And it's like, but didn't you sue him for money in the beginning?
Right. Wasn't the case dismissed twice?
Yes, but you sued for money in the beginning, so now all of a sudden it's not about money? You want people to know? I mean, the other issue, the really big issue is this. Michael is not here to defend himself.
Right.
You know, and so you have,
man.
and this is, it's a hit piece.
Well, let me interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
Oprah graduated, I believe, Tennessee University.
I think so.
She has a degree in journalism.
Mm-hmm.
I thought journalism was you have to research the facts before you come out with BS or something like that.
You're supposed to, because otherwise it's called yellow journalism.
Right.
But
no, I'm just saying for her to be formally trained in that field, she knows she has to have stuff lined up before you just throw stuff against the wall.
You're going to go with what's sexy. Okay. You know, because she says that once she saw the documentary, she felt compelled to do something. Because it sounds like, you know, her opinion was swayed. But it's like, okay, your opinion was swayed by two dudes who originally said he didn't do it, lost in court. And now all of a sudden, you know, they're saying he did something to him. Why was it swayed? How could it be swayed? Oprah's, you know, I think arguably a very intelligent woman. But Michael Jackson's not here to defend himself, so how can your opinion be swayed?
Right. Do you think it's because she's getting high off her own supply? I'm Oprah Winfrey, so...
Well, and that's the other thing, too. I mean, I'm not really for sure what her motive is. A lot of people will argue that Oprah is a pawn of the man, white supremacy.
Well, there are pictures. She has not yet said anything against Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, I mean, she's booed up with Harvey Weinstein. You know, and a lot of these pictures, and she hasn't. I mean, I saw her. I think it was the Oscars, not this Oscar, but the one last time when the Me Too movement took off and everything. She gave this, you know, rebel-rousing speech about time's up and all this other stuff, but it's like I don't recall her mentioning the devil by its name.
Right.
By saying Harvey Weinstein, I know we were friends, but you are a predator. I don't recall her doing that. I don't recall her having a special with any of that. I could be wrong, but because I don't watch TV, but I don't recall her having a special with these women who accuse Harvey Weinstein or any of these other cats. Jeffrey Epstein, you know, the guy who had sex or sexually abused, rather, over 100 sex trafficked little girls. Yeah. So where is this special? But yet you want to hop on the bandwagon? Because see, at least Harvey and these other people are here to defend themselves. The other people, Michael Jackson can't defend himself. So it's like, you have this you know, panel and this discussion, this healing moment. Well, what about healing moment for all the other people?
Very true.
You know, you just had to get on this documentary. I mean, I'm confused with that. Yes and no, I'm confused. And I know people like Oprah. Oprah's a very likable person, but at some point in time, we got to start believing the people like Monique. You know, the people who said they've been double crossed.
Well, anybody that's, you know, that stands truth to power, we should, you know, applaud those people and get behind those people because, like I said, I've argued with several people that think that what Steve Harvey said was more important. Money is more important than your integrity, which I have a total disagreement with that. But that's their opinion. You know, they can have that. But some people are like, yeah, you don't, you know, money's everything.
Yeah, and I had a discussion with somebody who shall remain nameless this morning. Asked me, why do I think Michael Jackson is innocent? I said, well, for one, he was proven innocent. You know, and he says, well, what grown man admits to having a play date with kids? And I'm thinking on the flip side of that, well, what pedophile admits to doing that? You know, most child molesters lie about it. I mean, Michael was open. Yeah, I just thought it was normal. You know, I'm not excusing Michael's behavior as far as, you know, sleeping in the same bed with little kids, but Michael Jackson did not have a regular upbringing. He had a lot of schisms going on in his life. Yeah. Some people try to blame his dad. I don't blame his dad. Well, I just think, you know.
Well, let's look at some facts here. Michael Jackson, he was 8, 9 years old. I think they lowered his age by 2 years. So we don't know his exact thing, but let's say about 2 years. He's playing in strip clubs and nightclubs all up in Gary, Indiana, and Chicago with his brothers as they're making the Chitlin circuit and the rounds with all these adults.
They had,
I mean,
they're right. They had to eat. So
they're seeing stuff that kids should not be seeing
right.
at that age.
So
not making excuses.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm not making it. Just it is what it is, you know. But we, like I told the gentleman, he says, "Well, being found not guilty doesn't mean you're innocent." And I says, "Well, okay, let's just follow the bouncing ball per se. If you're innocent until proven guilty, you go to court and they find you not guilty. That still makes you what? That makes you innocent.
Innocent.
So I mean, and nobody else was there." I have to kind of go with what we have to go with. The guys originally said he didn't do it. Now they're saying he did it. I mean, and truth be told, a lot of people came after Michael Jackson's estate, and Quincy Jones was one of them. You know, not for that kind of stuff, but for various things. Yeah. As I said, the man's estate, you know, what did he say, posthumously, is how you pronounce it, is worth $2 billion. So, of course, you're going to have these people coming out, well, shit, I'm going to get mine. You know, so now all of a sudden I'm this big time victim. Especially when the person is dead and they can't refute anything that you're saying. And you got some comments over there too. And you want to be mad at Michael? Fine. I get it. But is you mad at your mama and daddy too? Because they took you over there. Right. You know what I mean? Because I read some part where one of them. This isn't the replay. Oh, they think it's not live? Yeah. It's live. We live. Hey, we live. But at one point, I guess because I was reading, they said one of the guy's mamas, when she found out Michael Jackson died, she's dancing of joy. You know, this is what she's saying now. You know, he will never be able to hurt more children. But it's like, biatch, you took your child over there. This is in 2005, I think it was, when the trial, the last trial. Yeah, last trial. And then in 1993. He settled the case, and that's what the other guy, the guy was this morning said, well, he settled the case. I said, people settle cases all the time. Yeah, just make it go away. It doesn't mean that you're guilty when you settle. And when people try to, you know, give me that bullcocker about what people settled, I always like to bring up people's beloved Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant settled. Now, I wasn't there. You weren't there, but we know the dude didn't rape the chick. But why did he settle? Because he didn't want all of his life turned upside down and flipped out inside out for the whole world to see. Because, you know, people, like if I was sued and I had a lot of money, I would have to weigh my options here. Have the whole world see all my dirty laundry, the things I don't want people to know, that I keep behind the doors and under the bed, or I just pay these people to go away. So people need to get that out of their head, because I settle don't mean I'm guilty. Or think about this. Donald Trump does not want his taxes revealed. I think the biggest mistake Donald Trump did was running and winning the presidency, because now all his business has been exposed. Well, his homie, you know, Michael Cohen said last week he didn't expect to win. It was just supposed to be a business come up for him. Well, yeah, a promotion. Yeah, he was just you know, getting the trying to get rich off. Like you said, it was a good way to to continue to brand himself. And oops. I done effed around and won the presidency. I'm sure when he really found out he won, he was like, oh my God. Yeah. Well, you saw that him and Obama sitting next to her, that look on his face like, did I really win, dude? Oh my gosh. Right. But he should have done was immediately resign the presidency. Yeah, but you know, he's got that, you know, very big ego, and so that wasn't going to allow, he wasn't going to allow himself to do that. But, now you know, he's fucked. Yeah, but in regards to, you know, Oprah Winfrey, I just really, not shocked, but it's like, are you disappointed? Not even disappointed, but it's you like I said, you're just a smart woman, but yeah, you don't even give a damn. Well, you know, it is like you are. Anybody who's ever said anything bad about Monique going after Queen Oprah and the Queen, the Kingmaker Oprah, you need to eat crow. Yeah. You know, because she tried to tell us, and then people are like, oh my gosh, I think you're talking about Oprah. Wait. Goes back to what I just said. Integrity. Just like Muhammad Ali said. It makes no difference. Have all the money in the world, and I can't go back and stand up for my people. Well, that's who Muhammad Ali was talking about. He was talking about your Oprahs. She's got lots of money. Hell, she's got more money than anybody you can imagine. You know, but she doesn't have integrity. I don't care what nobody says. Just because you were a sexual abuse survivor does not mean Michael Jackson did it. Well, did he put himself in situations that were questionable? Yeah, absolutely. You know, but then again, I have to blame the parents, because this man's
I'm just not
No,
down to Michael,
go
but
ahead.
you know, the man's appearance. You've heard the rumors. It's like the R. Kelly thing. You've heard the rumors.
But see, that's what happens though. Money and fame is a hell of a drug.
It is.
I mean, it just really is. And so, Michael Jackson is the most famous person probably ever to live. I mean, to like ever to breathe. Besides Jesus, if you know, but we know that. Stop.
Yeah.
Okay. He's one because I don't want to get into that. Michael Jackson is the biggest person ever walking planet Earth at one point in time. And his legacy still is. Right. And so, of course, I want my kids to be around that. Oh, he's so great. Oh, Michael Jackson. I mean, you got people vomiting, passing out, crying, fainting, all the above when they even just get in the same arena with Michael Jackson.
Yes.
So here you have this opportunity to have your children, you know, he's going to mentor them or whatever the case, however that came about. And you sold your kid's ass. I hate to say it. Not that Michael Jackson did anything because I don't believe he did. But if this is your testimony that he did, you sold your kid's ass for fame. Because it also sounds like a lot of these people, these mamas, got cars, money, plastic surgery.
Yes.
They got a lot of stuff by whoring out their kids, per se. If this is their testimony that Michael Jackson has done something to them, you were the sole benefit. It sounds like your kid is the one that didn't get anything.
Right.
You walked away with everything, and now there's nothing. It's because that's how it is when the gift horse or whatever it is, the cash, the well runs dry. It's like, oh, well, gosh.
Yeah.
After all, you did do something to me.
Yeah, one of the guys that is in the documentary, his name is Wade Robeson. He's a choreographer. If you go on YouTube and you look up the group called Quo, they had a hit single, and they were signed to Michael Jackson's label on Epic Records. Was it Epic or Motown? Whatever that record was.
Yeah.
But it's under his production company, and a song was called Quo Funk. And they were kind of like the opposite of Criss Cross.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it.
You know. Again, you know, there's a relationship there, a business relationship that is tied to that. And then, you know, of course, you're going to grow up, and now you're grown, and you're probably not making as much money as you can. You see this man. You vehemently defended the man during the court session. No, it didn't happen. You know, Now.
Right. And I got into a very heated argument with someone yesterday. I mean, it was very heated. Because he watched the documentary. I didn't watch. I'm just not gonna. I don't have the ability to watch it because I don't have cable. But I wouldn't watch it even if I did.
Yeah, I didn't watch it at all.
And I said, listen. At the end of the day, I am not going to allow white supremacy to tell me how to feel about black people. I'm just not going to do that. This documentary is a white directed and produced documentary, whatever the hell it is. Now they're forming this narrative about Michael Jackson. And I'm supposed to fall in line. I'm supposed to say, oh, well, gosh, man, just like the whole R. Kelly thing, not to even compare them, but it's the same thing. People knew R. Kelly was a monster 30 years ago. And all of a sudden, white people told you that he's a monster, or, you know, to be mad at him, everybody's mad at him. Now here we go with Michael Jackson. The same thing happened with Bill Cosby. And so I told him, I'm not going to let white supremacy dictate to me how I feel about black people, especially our legends. Not going to do it.
Let's go back. For those guys that have not heard Demetrius' show, we talked about this months ago. Where is your documentaries on Woody Allen? Where's your documentaries on all your you know, these people that had problems back in the day? You don't see those documentaries, but when it comes to the black performers, it seems like they just Elvis, the king of whiteness.
I mean, even if you want to bring it to modern day stuff, you know, we can throw the Catholic priests in there. You can throw. I know you're Catholic, but who gives a damn?
All right, go ahead.
I mean, Ed Buck, you know, the Democratic donor in L.A.
Two black people.
Yeah, two black dudes in his
that
house.
That they found. It could be more than that.
Right, in 2 years. Less than 2 years, this dude has turned up two black bodies in his house. It's like, oops.
Yeah.
They're dead.
But like you've been saying, where are those documentaries?
Right.
Woody Allen married his stepdaughter, his adopted daughter.
Right. Well, she was 18, but then that leads you to question.
But he raised her from the time.
Was you already messing with this girl? I mean, so not to say, well, just because there's no documentary about the white people, we shouldn't hold the black people accountable. That's not what we're saying.
No, that's what we're saying, yeah.
What we're saying is, Oprah, if you're going to do these type of specials, do the specials about all of them. That's all I'm saying.
Roman Polanski, the guy who's been on the run.
Boys.
Right. He's been on the run for years. Assaulted a white woman, a fellow white woman.
Are you talking about Roman Polanski?
Roman Polanski.
Yeah, it was a 13-year-old girl.
13-year-old girl. I mean, come on. Let's be even-handed here.
You know? Well, she's a tool of white supremacy, you know. And it just
sad.
is. A lot of people will be mad.
I've been telling you.
Oh, could you say these things about Oprah?
Tommy Sotomayor has been telling you guys this for years. Now you guys are finding it out.
It ain't Tommy Sotomayor is new to this shit.
No, he's not. No,
Tommy Sotomayor.
No.
Tommy Sotomayor ain't putting us up on game.
Okay, Roland
Tommy,
Martin.
that new black ass media ain't putting us up on but all seriousness.
Seriousness, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Tommy. He has some valid points. I don't like Tommy.
I know his delivery. I know.
Yeah, I don't
it's
like to be, like it to black bitches and all that. It's counterproductive. Again, I know you like Tommy, but he plays to a certain audience.
Yeah, but look at the message. That's the kind of stuff he was talking about.
I mean, I get it, but he's not the only one that's been talking. Everybody's been talking about it. You know, it's just now we're seeing Oprah, in her true colors, and she pretty much said, "I don't care."
And again, everybody was dogging Monique out. Big ups to Monique for standing on principle and exposing these folks for who they are. Yeah,
I mean, even up until that interview you talked about with Steve Harvey, where he's trying to arrange this meeting between Oprah, Tyler, and Lee Daniels. He's going to arrange this meeting with Monique, see if they can apologize to one another and they can go make these big-time movies together once again. But
you never go to the guy who's married to the trap queen to arrange meetings. I just don't see it. He's not an Oscar winner. He is not a mover and shaker in Hollywood. He's a coon. You don't go to the coon to get help. I'm sorry. I mean, the way his whole career, to me, has an asterisk to it. The way he treats his wife. How the hell you gonna write a relationship book and you cheated on every one of your damn wives?
Well, maybe he says, I've learned my lesson and I have a lot of experience now and I'm speaking from experience and telling you what not to do.
And you got your hoish wife on Instagram putting out pictures and doing this and doing that and just throwing it in everybody else's face, and you got the nerve to talk to the average black person about what we need to do. Get the fuck out of here. Continue.
I was scared.
I'm just saying, I just don't think he's the guy to go to figure stuff out. Because he's already said money is his God. He'll put money before friendship, before anything else.
Okay, you just think about it. Oprah, Lee Daniels, Tyler, they're all pretty,
No, those are powerful people.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get on here. I'm trying to get on, get my money.
But people keep forgetting, all of this shit is about the woman saying no. She did Lee Daniels a favor by starring in the movie for $50,000, and it made a significant amount of more money. Then when they said, hey, we need you to do this promotion, she said, okay, well, how much you talking?
Right.
I want to spend time with my family. That wasn't the agreement. And then you're going to destroy this woman's career based on that? What's $1 million to Oprah since you're a billionaire?
Well, that's what a lot of people get wrong. So we have a comment over there. That's what a lot of people get wrong, especially with the Monique thing and the Oprah Tyler Lee, is, she made $50,000, but nobody thought the film was going to do what it did. And it did. And so at that point, he wanted to pimp her is what he wanted to do.
Exactly. But that wasn't the agreement.
Yeah, and so she should be happy she got $50,000 in that arena ain't nothing. Like she said, I'd have to, because she was doing her own television show at the time.
Exactly.
She said, I'd have to pack up. And then at this point, Oprah was like, well, I'll fly you on my jet. Just do these things. She's like, fine. However, I need some money to come with this jet. Because she says, I have to fly myself. I have to fly my assistants. I have small kids at the time.
Exactly.
And, I have all the obligations. So I can't just up and leave for
but when
$50.
But when it comes to the black one, we're supposed to do it for free.
Right. And then we're talking about these people with all this money. What was the comment say?
That's Mr. Al Jackson. What about the guy in the girl at the basketball game? Okay.
It was a story he told me. Okay, so how much time we got on here?
We got plenty of time. Go ahead.
All right, so just kind of transitioning. Will you do this? This is the D&D segment. How about that?
Yeah, let's go.
D&D.
Let's go.
Ask D&D.
Ask D&D.
All right, so what happened was this guy that he's speaking about is a notorious cheater. Okay? And
Al, don't be telling all my secrets.
he's a notorious cheater.
Mhm.
And his wife is sometimes on Facebook. On Facebook talking about, those encrypted messages. Well, if he doesn't love you, let him go. And if he doesn't treat you right, let him go. All this other stuff. So anyway, the husband, like I said, is a notorious cheater. He goes off to some CIA game somewhere.
Yeah. Tournament.
With his boo thing.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who gets caught on camera?
I love the kiss camera.
Well, it wasn't necessarily a kiss camera,
Okay.
but got caught.
Okay.
With his boo thing.
Who's that?
And the lady's husband, who's tricking off, goes off with his boo thing to the game out of state.
And he got caught on.
So the picture goes back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, sometimes it's the universe's way, because she knows this kind of stuff, that he's up to no good. Sometimes it's the universe's way of saying, you are the stupidest person today.
Yes.
Not ever, but today. You had all these signs saying this man is a trick. He's tricking. I mean, this dude flies women into town. Oh, it's just my old girlfriend. We just gonna have, and tells her this shit. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the universe's way of saying, you dummy.
Right.
I've tried to tell you. Now here it is in full color. That your man is a trick.
Mm-hmm.
Now what?
Right.
The next move is yours. You know? And so I'm like, you know who you were with? Why are you shocked?
Yeah. Wait.
And this dude is getting ready to go to a family reunion. It's really with his baby mama, but he's telling her it was somebody else.
Right.
He's going to go spend a whole week in the family reunion with his baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
And this dude is full on married.
It happens. It happens. Hey, my good friend of mine, John Tabarani. Sorry, John, if I said that wrong. Tabarini says, like Bob Marley, Elvis was not the king of whiteness. Bro, Lawrence Welk was.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Yes, I've been corrected. You're right.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Tell her I agree. By the way, everybody that's guilty, do them. Steve Harvey said MJ had more sex rooms at Neverland than the Playboy Mansion. Dang. And yep, was gonna listen. Nah, same shit. It will happen. Love Monique. King Kong Bundy died. Oh, did King Kong Bundy die?
Are you gonna be all right? Are you gonna be all right?
Man,
that's a wrestling person?
It's a wrestling guy.
You gonna be all right?
I'll be all right. King Kong Bundy died. Yeah. Woo! When they say Ric Flair, I'm done. I'm done. So, yeah, but a good point there. Yeah, it wasn't Elvis. I'm sorry, but Elvis is held in a high regard when it comes to music and stuff. So.
Yeah.
Because Elvis could do gospel. I mean, he did pretty much everything.
And Elvis ripped off a lot of people too.
Yeah, he did. So. I mean, it's America. What's he supposed to do?
It's right, but. I just, like I said, I'm not shocked about Oprah. I'm not disappointed at just who she is. She's just full on like, hey.
See, and remember we got in an argument? Remember we got in an argument about her being a billionaire? She doesn't even own her own studio.
I think
the majority
she owns like 51%.
No, she doesn't. She owns 49%.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, she owns the 49%.
Yes.
The majority stake, she couldn't uphold it. And then that's where you got the buffoonery
and
the coonery.
That don't mean she's not a billionaire. This probably means she doesn't want to spend her money.
Show me your taxes, Oprah.
From what I understand, she's worth almost $3 billion.
Hey, right now, I'm worth $5 billion.
Me too.
Okay, there it is.
Me too.
You want to see my taxes?
You hear my jet out there waiting to pick me up as soon as we're done? It's hovering.
Right.
Right.
Does that happen something when you drive around?
No.
All right.
I'm running that.
Exactly. Or we're gonna do a remake. You can play Aunt Esther. You fish eye
food. Right.
But anyway, again, you do not know who's a billionaire until you see their taxes. And like I said, for her to not to sell the majority stake in her thing, it's just my opinion. I don't believe she's a billionaire. She might be close, but I don't think she is. So.
I mean,
and
I'm not giving me none of it.
And then I'm not surprised. It seems like anybody who gets into these, they made it, they forget where they come from, and they become a totally different.
It's just Oprah. The other part about that too, it's not just black people who are mad at Oprah. People forget Michael Jackson had a lot of fans everywhere. And let me see, I think
he was jamming in Bucharest in '93.
You know what's funny when you said that Sunday? Because I was on YouTube, I saw that. I said, this fool was telling the truth.
He's jamming in Bucharest. Yes, that was a big HBO special. You know, remember back then they were just transitioning from the communism, so that was a big thing back then. He had the whole nation walking behind it and stuff like that. But Al Jackson says, "What is the funniest black TV show of all time?"
I'm gonna hurt you.
What do you think?
I don't know.
There's so many of them.
I
but
settled for Martin earlier.
I'll give Martin that, but I would have to say the Jeffersons.
Okay.
You know, I mean, the early Jefferson, the Mama Jefferson, like that. You know, George Danson. I just thought that show it went for a long. Yeah, but what that was 11 seasons. I think they did.
I think so.
Yeah, 11 seasons. So.
But let me read a couple of tweets for
John,
people.
I need to ride to Marsh Air Force Base.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Tweets from some celebrities in regards to the whole Neverland thing. This one says, "I hope everyone watches this." Ellen DeGeneres tweeted during Winfrey's interview with Robeson and Safechuck, which aired on HBO and Winfrey's cable network. Rosie O'Donnell, your favorite actress.
Yes,
of all time.
I love her, Rosie. She looks like a man.
Stomp.
Yeah, she looks like a man. That is a man, right?
She tweeted that the documentary, which premiered to a standing ovation at the Sundance Film Festival in late January, was a haunting viewing experience.
Wow. Rose
McGowan, your other favorite.
Oh, she is like pissed.
Your other favorite actress.
Yes.
The Me Too.
Me Too.
Thing.
Yeah.
She says, Rose McGowan, an actress and prominent voice in the Me Too movement, said Robeson, Safechuck, Reed, and Winfrey were all brave for taking part in the film. Okay?
So,
and then she says, the survivors are brave. That Oprah is brave. The documentaries are brave. This is what brave folks are standing against the grain, going against the norm, rocking the boat because sometimes it needs to be rocked. It is hard to hear truth, but that's what growing pains are.
Okay.
Hashtag brave.
Who said that?
Your girl, Rose McGowan.
Okay. How is it brave to attack a dead man? Please explain that to me. How is that brave? And Al Jackson says, I love this format. Stick with it. All right, we're going to start trying this out.
Okay.
Yeah, the Jeffersons. See, John's with me. The Jeffersons. Exactly. All the cooning that was going on. But how is it brave to attack a dead man that can't defend himself?
You don't argue against Rose McGowan, okay?
Right. She kicks some ass.
Do it and see what happens.
She was on the original Charm.
Right, you don't do that, okay? And Jawbreaker. I liked her back then, but she got to acting crazy now.
But she was assaulted.
Okay. She was assaulted by Harvey Weinstein, went and made, money, and then she took money from him, like a settlement type of thing, and now she's back. And so, like, you got these, you're rooting for survivors, but you sold out for some money?
Yes.
We ain't seen you in a whole lot of nothing lately, Rose, and so did the money dry up, and now all of a sudden you need to be on the Me Too
the
thing?
Hypocrisy is what we do in America.
I guess. All right, and so here's some tweets in defense of Michael. Says, hashtag MJ innocent. They take advantage now only for the fact that he can't defend himself. These people are sick. It's time to stop all of this. Michael doesn't deserve all of this. He is innocent. I will always love and defend him. There is nothing that proves what they claim. Are they right? They're right. Jermaine Jackson, his brother, one of the pop stars' brothers, tweeted after the broadcast debut of the first installment of that the media, including Winfrey, says was blindly taking hashtag Neverland at face value, shaping a narrative uninterested in facts, proof, and credibility. And that went to your earlier point. She's supposed to be a journalist and all this, that, and the other, but you have this...
Your basic journalistic...
Yeah, you have this panel off of he say.
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Well, this is, or I'm saying he say because of the dudes.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, that's truly one side of the story, and the other side will never be told because he can't tell that side of the story, even though Michael Jackson vehemently declared his innocence, even, up until, before he died. Yeah, he always said he was innocent.
Yeah, I kind of wondered, did they put that narrative up before they let these guys talk about, here's the trial, he was found innocent, blah, blah, blah. I didn't watch the show, so...
And, somebody who was watching it, I won't say their name, it said that it looked like a porn. That it was ingrained.
So they want to make it seem. Yeah, they want to make it seem very grimy, and Michael is just this evil.
Right, and somebody else talked about the music they used for the narration of it to kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you're watching an old, let's say a movie like Hitler.
Yeah. And
you see Hitler walking down, they put the music behind, like make him seem very sinister and yeah.
Right. And so then lastly, Corey Feldman.
Corey Feldman, who was a child star.
And Macaulay Culkin also basically said this is hogwash, this is false. But Corey Feldman says, #Neverland. Okay, I watched it all. All I know is what I experienced. And yes, every experience was the same right up to the sex part. That's where it becomes La La Land. Instead of Neverland for me, we never spoke about sex other than a few warnings about how sex was scary and dangerous. And he puts MJ. Mm-hmm. And so Macaulay Culkin also said the same thing. He's like, these dudes are lying. Because they tried to throw Macaulay Culkin in it too. He's like, he never did anything to me.
Right.
So there's two sides of the story.
Do you know who they really need to have interviewed?
Who?
Emmanuel Lewis.
Is he dead?
No, he's not.
Oh, Emmanuel Lewis. I thought they did at one point in time.
No, they need to, for the show, if they were going to do this, bring Emmanuel Lewis on.
Well, no, because it's not really a whole lot of interest in black victims. There's a lot of interest in white. I mean, it's just, I'm not being stupid, it's just the facts. There's just a lot of, there's more interest in white victims than there are black, because like to your point, Emmanuel spent a lot of time with Michael Jackson.
He did. Al Jackson says, how come Michael Jackson and Prince never did do Soul Train after 1983? Were they too big, popular and too big for the show? Absolutely, because remember, Thriller dropped early 82. And then Purple Rain, 1999 was already out.
Thriller dropped in 82?
Yeah. Remember The Girl Is Mine? That was the first single. The Girl Is Mine.
Oh, I think it was, okay.
82. And then 1999, Prince's album had dropped in 82 as well. And then Purple Rain came out in 84, because remember he'd done the movie.
Okay.
So yeah, so they had gone up. There's my girl Shaylinda. How's the baby? Everything's going good with that.
Yeah.
So we see him. He's getting big.
So there you have it. You have two sides of the story. Well, not two sides of the story, but two sides of the, I guess, you have the fans, and then you have the people who are saying, oh, this is, very chilling, and this needs to be said. Yeah. It needs to be said, but I don't think it needs to be attached to Michael Jackson. It's like, why are we using him to have this conversation?
Right, and
you know what I mean?
Check out YouTube and see the backbite that Oprah is getting from
the
black media.
But not even just the black media. I would say
just
too.
People.
Yeah, fans of Michael Jackson are livid. I mean, I went on some of her stuff out of curiosity yesterday on her Facebook page, and people are just
dragging.
And it's weird because as of yesterday when I went on her page, she didn't say anything about the documentary, but people are letting her have it. I'll cancel on. I'll never watch you again. You're evil. You're a backstabber. You're a snake. And how dare you do this to a dead man who can't speak? And so...
And that's a no-no in investigative journalism.
Well, that, and I think the other thing that Oprah and people like her who are on the side of the alleged victims, I think the one special circumstance that they have is because Michael Jackson fans are like no other.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like ride or die.
Yeah,
but I'm saying Michael Jackson actually had people kill themselves.
Oh, yeah,
He didn't have them kill themselves, but they killed themselves when he died.
Yeah.
They committed suicide. And so, when you think of the word fanatic, because that's where the fan comes. I'm talking about these fans are just...
And then, Michael has a very long catalog in the entertainment business. This guy,
he owned most of
no,
stuff.
I'm talking about his career.
Oh, yeah.
From the time he was 10 years old up until the time he was 50.
Michael Jackson's fan base will never die.
Well, like I said,
never die. You think about where his estate was when he died. It was struggling. I mean, the man was in financial ruins damn near. Now the estate is worth about $2 billion.
Yeah, but isn't it funny how all these artists are in financial ruin? I mean, it's the same. No. And what I'm saying is these companies. Let's forget the artists. The companies. What kind of contracts are they doing to where they're making billions of dollars and then the artist is just left in destitution?
Well, I mean, a lot of those people signed bad contracts. I mean, it happened to a lot of artists back in the days, especially black artists.
Standard contracts.
Yeah, just, they thought they were getting a good deal, and we saw Cadillac Records. I don't know how true that was, but I'm sure a lot of it was true. They got Cadillacs that they had to pay for.
Right, exactly.
They thought same thing with the 5 Heartbeats. They talked about that. They had all this stuff, and Big Red was like, oh, yes, I had to take off for the Cadillac show.
Yes, yeah, everything's
we watched the New Edition story.
Right.
I mean, the moms had $3.26 to split between all of them, and these dudes traveled all over the world.
Well, up in the States. They didn't go overseas yet. But Al says, just found out that Nathaniel Taylor, as known as Rollo on Sanford and Son, died. Yeah, he died yesterday, and he died
last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah.
Oh. after he left, quit acting, he opened up a school of theater arts for blacks. He sure did.
Nice.
Right in LA.
See, now that's the kind of stuff we need to be hearing about, you know. But I don't know. Just Oprah has truly showed her ass.
Do you think that Oprah could come back from this?
Listen, like Michael Jackson fans, Oprah has some pretty fanatics too.
Mm-hmm. White women.
Yeah, and that's just
yes, Oprah. Yes, yeah, you're right.
And yes, that's the other part I wanted to touch on too, because Oprah can say, let's say, go eat hot dog shit. It'll make your skin glow and you'll be radiant. It's all the rave. You know, people will be flying out to get that shit. So the point that I'm making is Oprah, her word is bond. She could tell people, I mean, I don't care whether it was a book, the new moisturizer, the what, people just did that. And so here you have somebody like her doing this interview. Well, if Queen Oprah says it, it must be true.
It must be.
She wouldn't, not do it for, because, Oprah's very credible. Well, we know that Oprah's had a few people on her show, like the dude who wrote the book, A Million Tiny Little Pieces or whatever. Yeah. Well, he said the story was true, and it turns out it
wasn't true. Right. John says, in the 50s, the payola travesty screwed everybody in the music industry. Equal opportunity theft. That's basically what happened to a lot of these artists.
Right.
It's sad.
Absolutely.
And then Gayle King signed off on CBS, too, because I woke up and I heard she was talking about, when it broadcast the next day, that thing was yesterday. The next day, she was like, she had a couple of people to follow up.
She's supposed to be, from what Al was telling me, she's supposed to be interviewing the Jacksons.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, it was Taj, Tito,
that's to
Marlon,
me is weird, because Oprah is your homegirl.
And Jackie. And I had to turn it off because I just didn't want to deal with it.
And that's what I said, and I just refused to watch it. I knew, I like Michael Jackson for who I knew him to be, not that I knew him, but... Right. I just don't want anything to try to, not that it could, but try to taint my, my liking for Michael Jackson. Wow. I don't need them to tell me that. Yeah,
John says Sam Cooke lost over $500 million in income. Oprah will be back. Al says Oprah will be back in season 4 of Greenleaf, and Oprah will also be back in season 3 of Queen Sugar.
John, did you watch the Sam Cooke documentary, The Two Killings of Sam Cooke? Did you watch it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Awesome.
I gotta go check it out. I gotta go check it out.
Awesome.
But yeah, so do you think she's gonna come back from this?
I don't think Oprah's gonna go anywhere from this. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna harm her
Yeah, and do you think because she doesn't have a majority stake in her thing, she had to go along with it?
No, I just think she might be legit in her reasoning. She's a survivor.
John said he did.
It's a great documentary. I think there's some legitimacy into what she's saying as far as her being a survivor of sex, abuse, and
sure.
I think there's some legitimacy to it, but I just think her judgment is off. Mm-hmm. Like, why are you interviewing the one side? This man cannot defend himself.
Yeah, your basic journalism, you've got to have both sides with fact. I mean, you just can't just go in there half-cocked.
Because to me, it just seems like, okay, these dudes are sore losers, and anyway, now they're going to try to get back.
Yeah. There was an episode of The Simpsons. You remember that one where Homer had touched this little girl in the butt? And then the news media was following him around, and like every time he came up, they played the CD music. He was just this terrible guy,
right?
And it really like put him in a box,
right?
I know, but it's the same kind of
right.
What they try to do, like, okay, look, it's just terrible. His legacy is just...
And that's like you guys ever watched the movie Mommy Dearest?
Yes. Oh,
Mommy Dearest. Some people considered that was the
Joan Crawford.
But it wasn't by her; it was by her daughter, Christina Crawford, who was vexed with her mom for how she alleged that she was treated. Because nobody really knows, I guess. But that was considered. A lot of people looked at that as a hit piece and revenge.
Yes.
It was. I have the final say so. Mm-hmm. You're not here to say it differently.
Right. Exactly, and that's exactly what it was.
Right. A hit piece.
Because remember, Faye Dunaway, who played Joan Crawford, took a hit in Hollywood as well
and
for playing that role.
never really bounced back from that. To this day, she doesn't like to talk about it.
Exactly.
Which is one of my favorite movies. It was like a manual for me.
Oh, no. Every Mother's Day I watch that. Every Mother's Day. That's a Mother's Day mandatory watching.
Yeah, that's they should make that into a manual.
Yes, exactly. You guys, we got about 30 seconds left, but you guys, please do not forget to tune in to the Demetra K Show, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Facebook Live. She talks about the reel. We got the video up from last week's or last Sunday's show. Go to the Demetra K on YouTube. You can see it over there. Like, share, and please bring us your comments and tell us what we want to do. And we'll see you guys again next week.
All right now. Peace.